Okay, I'm on. I'm live again. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. And I got a good one for you. So pull up a chair, pull up a mug of coffee or two, and let's sit down and just have a little chit chat. Hey, Shar, welcome back. Yeah. So some of the things I think that people are still believing, you know, and it just kind of like it makes me laugh. One of the things is that the government never lies. The government's going to steer you right. They know what's right for you, so best you listen to them because they're the government. That's a truth fact. That's a truth fact. Remember that. Okay. The other thing is that when you pay your taxes, it's actually going to help the country get better. Yeah. So remember that too. What's another really good one? Um, the elixir cures what it told you it cures. Yeah. So you'll never get what it said you would get if you take the elixir. Yeah, that's another good one. The news is reliable. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, and the other one, looking at the solar eclipse will cause blindness and you need special glasses given to you from the government that never lies to you. Oh, I'm thinking, let's go back a couple hundred years, and just think about this occurrence. I mean, if you're a farmer a couple hundred years ago, let's say 400 years ago, because that was the last time it actually, this has happened, like it's every 400 years. So you're a farmer. You're out there plowing your land, doing your thing. It's springtime. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, what you feel is the giver of light is gone. It's just gone for about 4 minutes or even, longer. I mean, yeah, you'd be freaking out. You'd be thinking it's the end of days. Definitely, you'd be thinking the end of days. Now, let's go forward a few hundred years. And you got people still thinking it's going to be the end of days. So far, nothing's really happened, but, couple things that, not that I'm a conspiracy person or wear a tinfoil hat. What I think, couple things. Money that the bill of the infrastructure of the United States that they passed. Have you seen anything? When I talk to a lot of my American friends, they haven't seen any improvements. So I wonder where the infrastructure is happening. Could it be happening somewhere that is unseen, that is in the depths below? I don't know. Would that make things above shake? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Just a thought. Okay, other thoughts. Hmm. Getting people riled up and telling them, make sure you top up with gas. Make sure you continually to top up with gas. Make sure you have plenty of water and food for this crazy thing that's happening in the sky. Yeah, yeah. And have an extra cell phone charger, just in case. And maybe have a satellite phone. I mean, those are all really good things to all have, definitely, in case any natural disaster have happens, to have some kind of bug out bag, definitely. But this is specifically one for today. Oh, it just exhausts me. It exhausts me how people, you know, it just exhausts me with it all. This is a fabulous, beautiful time, I believe. And for me, I feel excited. Yeah, it's causing some weird things for people. I honestly, believe that. I feel like because it is the moon, it does have effects on people's bodies. It affects, some women might even skip their period with this eclipse. So it could really mess up your cycle, because we follow the moon cycle and things get clipped off. So this could cause the crazy, issues when it comes to your menstrual cycle. We can also see where people might be getting extra headaches or lightheadedness and that. And to accelerate that all, to bring this into a little bit more acceleration, we have, CERN started up on the 4th. So on Thursdays, I think it was on the 4th it started up. So it started up. Now, along with that, there is other particle in the United States. Russia has some, so does China. They have them as well. And in fact, there has been where Russia has been experimenting with different Tesla Tesla accelerators and that, and working on different radio waves and microwaves for quite some times, and they've been testing it out on different Canadian cities. And Pierre Trudeau knew this. I don't know. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, knowing that these experiments were happening around different cities throughout Canada. So I found that fairly interesting, right? As well. Don't forget to cover your eyes that somebody just sent me. It's like, please, people, this is like you're going to go home. What are you going to pick your kids up and you're going to wear blinders on your eyes? Oh, I can't look. I feel, as I said earlier in my live, but with Mateus and stuff, because I mean, he's an extremely sensitive little guy, and telling him that this is like, if you look at it, you'll go blind. And it's like, no, you're not going to go blind. This is just something, another lie, I believe, that has been brought forward to us all. A belief that we've been, told that this is a good thing for all of us to do. It's things that we were told, when we have our children, get your children vaccinated within 6 weeks. And you're like, everybody, people did that. They lined up, they got their kids vaccinated. You got the nurse's visit, to make sure that your kids were fine. I mean, a lot of that, yes, some of that is good. I think the original vaccine possibly was good, but there's still just so much there that of information, because history was rewritten, and then it was written by people who want you to believe a certain narrative. So when you look at the history, it's like, is that the truth of really what happened during that time? And it brought me to with a lot of things that have been translated over in time, that it just makes you question a lot, and question a lot about your world, the world we live in. When they say the aliens haven't been here yet, you're just like, I remember, what was it? The show that came out when I was a kid, and it was funny because my dad got angry at it, and it was talking about landing strips of aliens coming in, and the aliens landing strip and stuff. And I can't remember the show, but it was on. And my my mom wanted to watch it, and my dad was just furious, and he goes, oh, this isn't true, this is a bunch of crap, you can't believe all of this. But I was fascinated by it. I was fascinated by all the evidence that they were being that they were giving about, of different areas that it looks like a landing strip where these alien ships would come in and land, and different hieroglyphs that looked like aliens, and how within the Hindi religion they're flying around in spaceships. All of their gods have a little spaceship that they're flying around in. I found that so fascinating. And of course, certain things you couldn't question, some things you could, but certain things. But when, for my dad being a lovely Leo, once it's like, no, this is the law, this is what's said, you don't really argue back with him, except for his daughter, who's a real staunch little Scorpio with a Cancer moon. Is like, but really? I don't understand, wanting to, understand all of that. And I feel like it's like so much is wanting to put the blinders on you, wanting you not to see the truth of what is going on. And here we're in a day and age where blinders are coming off and people are starting to see the truth, but it's so hard because it's like such things have been embedded in ourselves since we were little to believe a certain way or a certain narrative. And it makes us feel lost. It makes us feel shattered and uncertain in the direction where we should go to. It makes us feel where, yeah, everything is being taken away that we thought that we should believe in, and it's not there. It's not there. And it's really getting you to really open up to start to look at what your truth is and where you want to lie with your truth and what direction you would like to go with your truth. But that's, never question. Don't question anything. Just believe the way it is. If the government says this is what it is, then it must be true, right? Everything is fine. I can still drive my car. I'm still living in my house. I'm still able to go to the grocery store. My kids are in school. Everything is fine. Things look normal, right? But this is where it's like you come around and you question. And I love my grandson because he did. He questioned. He goes like, as soon as his mom left, he goes, why can't I look at this? Because his mom is like, they just want you to be safe. And I'm just like, no, they just want you to be conformed. So he has a crazy mom. I was like, no. And I got to really watch my wording because he's only 8, right? And you don't want him to go to school and say, you just want me to conform like everybody else. But telling him that it's okay to question. It's okay to have these questions and asking them. It is important. I really feel sorry that these kids aren't being taken outside and just to allow to be within, and it's a partial solar eclipse, so it's not a total one. If it was a total one, it'd be so awesome, because I mean that's when you can really see the planets because everything is darkened, right? During the day. And so you don't have any light pollution going on. So just think about it. There's no light pollution when the solar eclipse happens. And so everything is darkened. And that is when even at night, you can't really see some of the planets right now because of where they're situated by the sun. But with this total solar eclipse, if you're in like the Texas area or different areas, you can see the planets and stuff, which is so cool, right? So that is, I mean, I think it's pretty awesome to be able to witness that and to be able to see that, but that's the thing is, you know, I said to Steve today, I said, one of the things that I'm noticing is that the indoctrination that they're trying to bring to the children, right? And trying to get them to believe and be fearful of. So why do you think they want you to be so fearful of? What are they preparing you for? And you know what they're preparing you for, and it starts with a W. And that's what they're preparing you for, preparing you to get to see where they can um have you and see what happens and see what kind of, the other thing is like, okay, how much is this going to cause upon the infrastructure with everything going crazy or if things go down, right? So there's a lot of that's happening as well. I'm playing Total Eclipse of the Heart on the speaker when it starts. Good. I think that's a positive thing. I do. Last night when we did our meditation and we brought in Hecate, I mean, she is the dark goddess, right? She brings you into that womb, brings you into that darkness, and wants you to come forth. Come into my cave, come into here, because this is where we can heal. This is where we can transform. So if you look at this is a fabulous time of looking at transformation, especially when the moon and the sun are at 19 degrees, right? So it's at this 19 degrees, which is where the sun is exalted. and within the sky. So you have this beautiful exaltation of the energies that are coming forth. Yeah, they're eclipsed right now. And I think, with that being eclipsed at this time, it's getting you to look at an inward self, looking at where you want to go, what you want to release, what no longer serves you at this time, right? So you are able to move forward. So you are able to go in and to give you that strength and stamina that you are going to be needing in the coming months, right? Because this is a huge year of transformation. This is a huge year of seeing dismantlements that are going to be taking place in and around the world. This is a year where there's been more elections in countries than ever before, like in 1 year, right? So many people going out and casting their vote. And I find it very enlightening. I find it very interesting to see all of this roll out. The other thing is that eclipses don't cause earthquakes. Things that the solar does, the sun does, yes, with the solar flares and different things that within the sun, yes, that can cause eruptions in that within the earth as well. Yes, that can do that, but the eclipse cannot, right? The eclipse can CERN or something along that line cause it. Yeah, I honestly believe it can, because it's playing with different particles and causing different frequencies to come out. But CERN is not the only one, right? So the United States has quite a few smaller ones that are going on and that are active right now and that have been turned on. Russia, as well as I said Russia as well, and so does China and a few other countries. So there's other countries that have these uh, particle things. Technology words. And I love it when people are doing their doing doing their talks. They can just like, oh yes, and CERN is blah 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 blah. Me, it's like this particle thing that's being turned on can cause havoc, and I've seen it just by talking to people. How are you feeling on Thursday? How are you feeling on Wednesday, Thursday? Because remember, they're ahead of us, right? So they're ahead of us. So this is where it's like, looking at, well, how are you feeling during Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? How are you feeling now? What do you feel is different? So looking at the differences that are happening. The other thing, the other part too, is that when you're messing around with particles, when you're messing around with shit like that, it's opening up vortexes. It's opening up for different energies, different entities to come through and cause havoc with people and in different situations as well. So just being aware of that and making sure that, you know, doing your protection and doing your protection spells, making sure you're cleansing, clearing, all of that is a very important piece in the coming months. And if you are one person, if you're a person who only does it maybe once a week or once a month, I'm going to say, let's start doing, if you're doing it once a week, I'd start doing it 2 to 3 times a week. If you're doing it once a month, I'd say do it 2 to 3 times a week. This is a time to really up it, right? For the protection that needs to come in and needs to happen. So it's, it's one of those, it's one of those things that's happening right now that is getting us to really pay more attention to how you are working within your spiritual realm. And it's, I'm going to say, for many, it's a scary thing, and to understand and not not to be mean to those who are just waking up and that are getting the shit scared out of them because they don't understand, and everything in their world that they believed in is no longer, right? Is no longer. It's like, oh my God, who can I fucking believe? Who's going to tell me the truth? And some of the things that you hear seems to be so far-fetched that it's just like, you mean that's the actual truth? So it's allowing yourself to have the patience in that for others that are awakening at this time, and also have the patience on yourself in how you're doing with everything as well. So there is it's just a crazy muddled mess, a crazy muddled mess. Um, from this, I think they're going to be activating a lot more when it comes to activities, when it comes to the war and things along that line. We're going to start hearing more of that. I will tell people to continue to stock up. Definitely. You see stuff on sale, buy it, man. Especially when you're going into a war economy and they don't want to say that, they don't want to say those words, they don't want to say that because that causes a lot more fear. But you know, but it's fear in a different way. Like, I think this is the fear of the eclipse, and everything that they're trying to do is sort of like mediocre. It's like what they try to do with the pandemic and stuff, to see how far they could push people, and then noticed, okay, we pushed too far, we can't do this anymore, but we want to prepare them for other things. So I think it's definitely a time of cleansing and clearing, a time of, you know, not being afraid, and if you are afraid, honor your fear of where you're feeling the fear and what it is, and get some amethyst. I don't know, amethyst is coming in too. I know it's a crystal for Hecate, but having the amethyst is really helping to ground and focus, as well, and really helping to align oneself with that. And red jasper is another one. I'm not a jasper fan, but red jasper, and I was looking at that the other day, and I almost bought it, and I'm just like, why am I buying red jasmine? Why am I buying red jasper? I don't like red jasper. But I felt like it kept calling me. There was a beautiful um one that was shaped in a heart. It was really, really pretty. I might go back and get it today. And get some red jasper, because that was one that was calling me. Let's just look it up. So what is red jasper? What is the symbol? Oh, it vibrates and encourages growth, motivation, revitalization to the holder. Those who seek an awakening of spirit are drawn to red jasper. So it is one that brings forth treating ailments, stimulating energy, uh, bolstering emotions, relieving stress, blocking hostility. Ooh, maybe that's it. Bringing energy. Oh, that's the other one. So there's a lot of good things when it comes to the jasper. So, and it's not a bad stone, but I just feel drawn to it. So I'm going to do this, and I haven't. Whenever I do this, everybody gets quiet. Is there any questions out there? Do you have any questions right now, either to do with the eclipse, to do with any of the energies and that are going on, or maybe it's just your own? You have a question that you just need to ask. Nobody. Everybody went silent. Everybody's disappearing on here now that I say, if you got a question, nobody disappears. I think that's funny. So we're gonna pull a herb. Cattail. Ooh, cattail. It's masculine. It's ruled by Mars, and it is fire. Its power is lust. Ooh, ooh. Okay. You know what I was thinking today? Could you imagine a child that's conceived today? Whoa, their prenatal chart would be just crazy, with the energies that they're going to be bringing into this earth. So just think of any babies that are going to be born 9 months from now. That is crazy. And they're going to be born with that Pluto coming back into Capricorn. Yeah. Because it's like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Okay, no, they'll be born in January. What? Is that right? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan. They'd be born they'd be going through the second eclipse that's going to be coming in through October, November. Then they are going to be born as into 2025. And I think we have Mars retrograde at that time. Wow, these kids, oh my goodness. With Pluto being in Aquarius, so there'll be an actual Pluto and Aquarius energy child. So just newness, new energies, new brightness, but born with a little bit of darkness within them. Interesting kids, because they'd probably be born as, you know, and this is Candace's favorite sign, they'd be born as Capricorns. So Capricorns, so if they were conceived today, they would come in, yeah, and they'd be born during the first part of January, so they'd be Capricorns. So this whole energy of Capricorns, so that's interesting, because Capricorns are an interesting energy, because they can be very positive and very loving and going in that direction, or they can, you know, they could be like the Darth Vader, and choose the dark and go towards the dark, right? So that would be that would be an interesting one to follow. Just saying, just thought of it. As I'm thinking of the lust of this plant, that's this is where my Scorpio mind goes. Just saying. So magical uses. If a woman doesn't enjoy sex but wishes to, she could carry some cattail with her at all times. My mind just went somewhere else with the word cat. I'm just let it go, Mary. You're trying to make this child friendly. So, cattail. Just have some cattail. So if you're not enjoying sex, get some cattail, carry it, and have it with you. Oh, out of all the ones I picked, cattail. But it's ruled by Mars, so there's a lot of fight. There's a lot of energy, a lot of feistiness with that energy. That's the other reason cattail. Once it takes hold, I mean, it's very difficult to get rid of cattail. So oh, my little mind just goes in crazy directions. But yeah, it's like in Japan. Japan has a thing that with couples will pay a lot of money when the northern lights are at its height, and there's places in the Northwest Territories, lodges that and these lodges have a dome, and so they can go and have baby making time. Gotta say this, child friend, baby making time, and hopefully conceive a child underneath the northern lights, because that child is supposed to be an enlightened one and a blessed one. So if they get pregnant during that time when they're having baby making time, it is prosperous. Same with in ancient times with if you have a child during the Beltane. So the Beltane's coming up too. So if you have a child on, during the Beltane, that child was given a special honor, right? That child was specially honored. The girls were given a special shield, and same with the boys. The boys were really protected, and they were the ones that if they, to protect their to join the army and stuff, they were given a special privilege. So given a very special privilege, and the young girls that were born from being conceived under the Beltane energy, that they were also given a special honor, and those were women that were highly sought after, those young women. So unable to move. Oh, poor Lisa. Yeah, well, the intensity too, right? So there's a lot there. A lot of people be feeling very sleepy, wanting to sleep, not wanting to get up and do too much and stuff like that too. I'm not feeling too headachy and stuff today. I had a slight headache this morning, but I was feeling, ooh, double sevens, and a reversed king of I don't give a fuck. So, okay. Double sevens for the tarot that just jumped out. Um, Seven of Wands and Seven of Pentacles. Protecting your passion, protecting that of what you're creating. Because the Wands is protection. You want to protect what it is that you're creating. And you might not get the full information, because the king is reversed. The king being reversed, I mean, this is the king of I don't give a fuck. And he's like, this is my intellect. This is what I know. This is what I need to do. And I go full force at it, right? And I know that I'm doing what I'm doing is right. Here it is that you might not get the intellectual. It might be more of an emotional one as you're doing, because you have the air and you have the earth. I mean, you have the fire and you have the earth with the air. So there's a lot of, I'm going to say, like, misunderstanding. Could be some confusion. So you're trying to get the direction that you want to get to, but you might find it muddled, not getting the fullness of what you are wanting, even though that you are here, you're wanting to create. You've created something and you want to continue to create it. And double sevens, let me get that one up, what double sevens are. I'm not a numerologist person, but we will pull up what 77 is, because that's pretty, I feel like that's just I want to close that. There we go. Lots of advertising on this page, but the information is so good. So 7 is made up vibration, is a made up vibration of energies of the number 7 doubled, amplified. So it's double 7. So it's wisdom, intuition, psychic ability. So trusting your intuition. The angel number indicates that you have listened to the divine guidance and are now putting that wisdom to work in your day-to-day life. Your desires and wishes are coming to fruition in your life as a direct result of your positive attitude. So continue to have your positive attitude, because things are coming to fruition. Due to your efforts, discernment, and good choices, your just rewards are on the way. So this is bringing in just rewards. It also adds up. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 adds up to being 5. So this is also the angel number 5. So there is change. Change is definitely in the air. So there's some sort of change. So you have to follow your intuition when it comes to the change, not get so much in your head. If you get too much in your head, it's not going to be a good thing. It's going to cause where you could become hot-headed, overthinking. It's just not going to take you to where you need to go. This is really a withdrawing time, coming back into and following the intuition of what it is that you're going to create, and not getting too hot-headed over things, because that is never a good thing, is getting too hot-headed, for sure. So if you are wanting a reading, definitely, I have some time this week. So you can get a hold of me at thegurumama@gmail.com. And I want you all to have a fabulous, fabulous day. I'm looking into starting just doing some basic astrology classes, like just coming tonight. We're just doing just basics, like starting, what are the houses? What are the signs? What are the glyphs? So starting with some really basic astrology and moving from there. So I've had a few people ask me for that, and just starting from like kindergarten level. Here it is. Let's start with this. This is what this is. Work with this for a while. Then we come back. This is what this is. Work with it. And then building up from there. Sometimes I find there's a lot can be given at once for people, and it can just feel a little overwhelming. So I'm looking at starting those classes. So they will be starting after April 20th. So after the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So I'm going to be starting them after the April 20th. And I will let you all know what the 411 will be about that, and pricing with those, and what the pricing will be for taking. And it'll be just class by class. So we'll be doing it like that. Sending you guys out so much love. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all you be and all you do. Have a blessed one. Get outside. Look at that eclipse. It's going to be happening here just shortly. So have a blessed one, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.